Oh my stars and garters, welcome back to Covered Dish. How are you,
Girl,
girl?
what are you wearing tonight? Tell me everything. I'm getting big tea goddess vibes.
Thank you, thank you. It's so hot out here, so I thought I needed a big brimmed hat. You know I like a big brimmed everything, girl.
Ah!
But we're talking about some intimate topics tonight, so I thought I would pull out all of the tea time fantasy stops.
You know what today is?
What's
Today
that?
is a say something hat day.
That
Tu
that
Wong Fu.
that should have been the challenge for this outfit. Say something had I've been like, say what? This?
Here's the problem. The challenge is you have to wear a say something hat, that is every hat.
That's true. I don't really get subtle hats. I and
Well,
that
what's the point of a subtle hat?
You tell me. You tell
If
me,
it's a
reviewers.
subtle hat, it's a fascinator and it's not subtle for other reasons.
A fascinator's not subtle because it floats. It like asks so many questions.
It does.
Like
It's like, how many bobby pins did you use?
Yeah, like how does
Was
that
there an
woman hold it all
adhesive?
together? How does she manage to cook and pick the kids up by 5?
She doesn't.
She doesn't. She's on the sheer precipice at any given moment. Well, girl, your actual challenge to me was to wear feathers for every day. That was the words that you put it to me in. And now I'm not wearing any feathers. You can probably tell here, but I realized that there was a loophole, which is accessories.
Ah, girl.
So I
Yes.
brought my casual Tuesday marabou.
I love that. I love that. Just that a very subtle feather. You could use that feather on a Tuesday afternoon. You could use that feather on a Sunday evening. Very versatile.
You surely could on any patio,
Top,
frankly.
top 3 places to use that feather on a weekday, you know? Oh my God, I
Two of
love
them
it, girl.
are in my butt. Just kidding. I just realized it's a little dim in here, so I thought I would. How's that? Oh, that's better.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, that's better. We love to see it.
Oh, we love it. So,
do you want to see the rest of the outfit?
I surely do.
I surely do. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the gig, mama.
Yes.
Okay. So,
oh, I love that print on you. It's so whimsical.
Thank you. So I thought, it's getting to be 90 and the bugs are coming out in Ohio. So sometimes you need a nice flowy cotton voile. It's a sheer overlayer so you can let your legs, sensibly, modestly show through.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got some floral doodads on it, some nice embroidery. And it is sheer, so if you want it to be really, really extra, like, bare naked Contessa through the woods, you could wear it without the slip underneath and you would just be fully sheer. Like, it reminds me of like when burlesque dancers do photo shoots in a stream.
Yes,
you
yes.
lay down and you let it, or I mean, like straight people do this too, right? Like when you're in a babbling brook for your wedding photos, and they just kind of like, you come out.
Straight people don't do this.
Straight people on Instagram. That's a separate. It's a horse of a completely different color.
They do appropriate a lot. Oh, I love that. I love those little gloves.
Thank you. And I have some little lace, some gloves for playing cards. Like these are very much like bridge gloves.
Yes. Where did you get those?
I got these at a little vintage store in Mount Victory with Cherie Blondell.
I was gonna put that on a T-shirt, and now there it is.
I'm gonna carve that in my tombstone.
Flaming homosexual transgender
degenerates. So it's like, you know what, you guys aren't gonna like me either way. So I don't care if I'm gonna set my, my Waterford crystal next to my nude mannequin draped in boas. Like it doesn't matter.
Nothing matters. Also, that's a really good combo. Girl, you have to come down because I'm getting a new piece of furniture, which is a gorgeous new bar.
Ooh, oh, that reminds me of when Hyacinth in Keeping Up Appearances is like, how thoughtful of you to call Mummy on the day she's having her 3-piece suite delivered.
Yes. I need you to come down and just go vintage crap and stress out Daddy. Anyways, so we love vintage crap. So
I love looking at furniture with Daddy.
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
Oh, you did? Ah! There's something in the air.
So my partner hates antiques and calls them all old shit. And I love vintage. I love vintage everything. And she's like, it's just old stuff and it's all haunted.
Point me to where the problem is.
Well, we have to sage everything down before it comes in the house.
Oh, you be smudging?
We'd be smudging. Because you know what?
Stuff?
Statistically, the ghosts are extremely racist. Like, not because all people are racist, but because, well, everyone has inherent racism within them because we were all raised in systems of white supremacy. And they're old ghosts. Well, so, like,
you know, I was watching.
We're not going to bring them into, like, an interracial queer couple space. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just not the best plan.
Yeah. Well, I was watching, so I like to watch that Netflix show, Two Queens Like to Watch, with Trixie and Katya. And they were, I forget if it was Haunting of Bly Manor or like The Winchester or something, the movie about the Winchester house. Yeah. And they were like, listen, this is the essence of being American. If there are ghosts here, it's First Nations people, and frankly, it was our time to go. Like, we deserve it. You know what I mean? So, like, if I ran into a ghost, I would just be like, I'm sorry. Like, my ancestors absolutely did that. And
yeah, I'm out.
And I'd be like, would you like some tea? And that's when I would die in the next frame.
But what a way to go. Speaking of tea.
What a way to go.
Tell us what you brought for tonight's dish.
Well, tonight I brought actual tea because I wanted to serve you the full tea time fantasy with costume jewelry. So let's get into it, Mama. So first, let's pour the tea. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
So
is this the COVID China?
This is the COVID China. So for all of you, for the uninitiated, that's what I like to call the straights now. For people who are not, the uninitiated to me sounds like there's some kind of like satanic ritual to being gay, which we don't want to give away all our secrets, but it's true. So
next week we will.
Next week we'll show you the satanic ritual. So last year when I was really bored, I thought, you know what, let's scroll on eBay for a new China pattern. And that does sound like the craziest, gayest thing in the world, because it is. But here's the great thing about China is that everyone used to buy sets of China as wedding presents and nobody's using them. So Grandma Myrtle, like everyone's Grandma Myrtle, has full sets of China that's sitting downstairs, and then the kids get it and they put it all on eBay. So it's like they just want to get rid of it, right? The kids don't want this stuff. Only crazy millennial femme queers want it. So
y'all.
So I scooped this up and I got a nice little teapot with it.
That is a nice sized teapot.
I don't know. I don't know how many. That's the ASMR portion of the show.
That was very comforting.
It's like Mr. Rogers, like, how was your day?
Mm.
So, do you take cream and sugar in your tea?
Oh my God, I love this. So how do you take your tea, girl?
Normally I just take it straight up, but I wanted to be a little extra, so we're doing
You?
Me? In this economy?
What?
Yeah.
I love that. I do my tea straight as well. Sometimes when I'm feeling really crazy, I do a lemon wedge, but you know, it's a weekday.
Yeah. I like things a little bitter.
Mm-hmm. How many cubes?
So I was not that extra. I did not get pressed cubes. I just have like
good.
Yeah.
Normal.
Oh, that's what'll really tell them normal of all this. But I wish though that I had little sugar tongs and like the little lumps of sugar.
Yes, you put the little.
That's just everything. So the tea that I'm drinking tonight, and I feel like we might just do a regular tea segment because it's just like it's very fun. I'm drinking Celestial Seasonings Tension Tamer tea.
Oh my God. Girl, I went on a tour of the Celestial Seasonings Tea Factory with my ex.
Did you really?
It was the gayest thing I've ever done.
Oh
yes,
my gosh.
Keep going.
Did you get free tea at the end of it?
No, they really upcharge the tea at the site, but they say there's teas there that you can only get there. We'll talk offline.
Cheers. Cheers to the queers.
Whatever you're drinking, whatever you're imbibing, we're thrilled you're with us. And if you're rewatching, pour yourself another one.
Santé.
All right, girl, get out the ice packs and the ace bandages. We are talking tonight about sex injuries and mishaps.
Oh, wait a second. Before we get to that, girl, we didn't even get to the dish of tonight.
Oh, I thought we were just doing tea. I forgot.
We have an extended dish this evening. So tonight we have our guest chef, Chef Daddy, made a little fruit salad. And literally all this is cut up fruit with a little bit of honey drizzled on top so you can get the fruit to break down a little bit. So the longer you let it sit in the honey, the more the sugar comes out of the fruit and the flesh softens up a little bit. It's like moisturizing your fruit. So we have a nice summer mixture here of peaches, pears, oranges, strawberries, and blueberries.
Oh, you know what? I never put peaches in a fruit salad.
Really?
No, but it's delicious. I just go really berry heavy.
Yeah. So.
But I guess especially, I love the color of the peach.
It's very good.
You know, you could do with that like an infused honey, like a truffle honey. And really make it like interesting.
You served me a little interesting. You served truffle honey for me one time, but I can't remember what it was. It was on a little crudité.
Oh, it was just on a charcuterie, yeah.
A charcutoir.
I love it. I'm a sucker for I love making charcuterie plates. What a delicious little summertime treat.
Oh, girl, come over anytime. We'll play bridge. We'll talk about Cheryl Lee across the street.
You better take that fruit, put it in a bag, freeze it, because I'm going to probably need to ice something by the time I come back up.
Oh, girl.
I'm always injured. You know how it goes. That's how we got to this topic tonight, because I'm always injured.
Yes, indeed. So now that I'm teed up, I'm fruited up, fruits to the fruit. What's that they say? You are what you eat? Hello.
Eating fruit.
So, yeah, let's talk about, are we talking about sex injuries or sexy injuries?
What is a sexy injury?
That's a great question.
Comment readers. What is a sexy injury to you?
Well, actually, this is actually taken at maybe a bit of a dark angle early on, but like, if you ever been fetishized, girl? I feel like I should print that on a pamphlet. Have you ever been fetishized on the internet? But people will fetishize just about anything. Like if you're trans or, the color of your skin or your disability status. I mean, people, and let me tell you, dear viewers out there, word of advice, it doesn't ever feel good if you're fetishizing someone around one of those characteristics, especially things that you can't control. Is like, oh, cool, you don't like me, you like this thing about me that is sort of an immutable characteristic. It's not a cute look. So I think that's what I would call a sexy injury, but like also not fun. Excuse me while I am unladylike and adjust my slip.
Oh, my stars.
Sometimes it likes to ride down. I've been watching on The Crown, so I'm affecting a sort of Elizabethan dialect.
I don't really know if I have any like good sexy injury stories. I feel like all my injuries are sex injuries, but I also feel like that's because I'm a complete and total klutz. Like I am an absolute klutz, and that is also exists in the bedroom. Do you know what I mean? I always just find a way to like hurt myself.
Have you ever tried to wear like little heels, little mules, a nice little cha-cha heel in the bedroom? And then you're going one way, your ankles going the other, and then it's...
Girl, yeah. First of all, I have heels that I like keep only for certain positions. They're just not made for weight bearing anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation. Everything's a teeny tiny little stiletto pedestal. And I'm not...
You know what? I went to Rainbow Prom last weekend, and I had the gall.
Oh, yes. How was it?
It was fun, but I had the absolute audacity, the temerity to wear a 4-inch stiletto heel in grass.
What?
Yeah. What am I asking for it? Is this world not hard enough?
So did you aerate the lawn? Like, did you go right through? Or did you try to stay on the balls of your feet like a baby giraffe?
I was tilling the earth, and then I was fertilizing the earth with my dead body. But no.
Oh my gosh, Penny is farting next to me. Hold on. Come on, no. Go ahead, big girl. Oh my God, that was terrible. Sorry.
Guest star.
Our guest star is now leaving the room.
Our furry guest star in the house.
So, don't ever want to leave Rainbow Prom. Love that. So thrilled that happened. I'm for it.
Yes. No, we can move on. That's sort of off topic. I mean, sex.
Here's the thing I'll say, and readers, I don't get too vulnerable, but I will say, if you're going to get into any sort of kink or experiment, I know when you're experimenting, you're like, well, I don't want to invest in all the products, right? Because you're like, well, we're just playing, we're experimenting, we may not go back to this. But I'm here to tell you, if you think you can sub in an everyday belt for other sorts of restraints, you'd be wrong. And you may then end up doing a Midwest comedy tour with a torn rotator cuff and not know it.
Well, how long did it take you to find out? How did you find out?
Because I couldn't fucking move my arm.
Oh my gosh. Oh, did you try to like gesture on stage and it was like, that's it?
You know what? It just like wouldn't go any farther than this. You know what I mean?
No.
You're just like, oh, that's all of the things. But I think it's more just like,
carry me off,
when you're
please.
younger, you can do those sorts of ridiculous things.
Yeah.
That you just can't do now. I can't do now.
Your advice is absolutely true. If you are going to try out, don't try this at home. And if you do, get the proper equipment.
But I think that's the thing is when you're first trying it, you're like, well, I don't want to. And you know when you meet someone new and it's like, well, what do you have? And then like you think you're being super hard and you're like, well, I have like, I don't know, I have like a riding prop I won at some like fetish show because I was on the show.
Yes.
And then the person's like, oh, that's crazy. And then they show you something and it's like way more intense. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah,
you kind of play this game of chicken in the beginning.
Yeah, which I don't know why, because I feel like you should just sort of be upfront about your experience level, because if you are more experienced, then you have this, you have this opportunity to like show someone how to do it the right way, which for me is kind of paying it forward.
Yeah.
But if you are inexperienced, like don't pretend like you're experienced, because then it's going to be like, oops, I didn't mean to... Oopsie, anal fissures. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to injure somebody unintentionally. That's not cute.
Oh my god, oops, anal fissures. Also up
The
for
name
a
of my
mug
third
idea.
album.
We were deciding between oops, anal fissures and oopsie
Oopsie. And you know what? The focus group won out.
Okay, so I have like the worst sex injury story, and it's kind of dark, but it's like also just absolutely ridiculous. So I have this partner. I don't even want to use the term partner. She was just so terrible. But anyways, I was seeing this woman, and we were sharing a bed, and I was in a position where she wasn't really like able to like be awake. She really, really needed her sleep because she was really focused on something, and she like really just kind of wasn't part of my life anymore. But we shared a bed.
Okay, yes.
So
things had ended, but you were still sleeping in the same bed.
I mean, they had ended in every way, but like the like text that was like, we're fucking done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like totally whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She was like super, super controlling and really terrible and whatever. Irrelevant to that is I woke up and I had a UTI. And I didn't want to tell her I had a UTI because it was early and I didn't want her to like have to think, I didn't want to be like, oh my God, I have to go to the doctor's, blah, blah, blah. Like, I didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to deal with like, I was just like, I don't even want you in my life right now. Like, I don't even want to deal with it, blah, blah, blah. So I go to the closest ER because it's like 5 a.m. So nothing is going to be open for 9 a.m. And if you've ever had a UTI, dear readers, you do not have 4 hours until the urgent care opens. You don't. Because you will be bleeding out of your kidneys. Like, it is the worst pain I've ever had in my life. Anyone can shout out, it was whatever. I don't know what's where. So, due to my location in Columbus, Ohio, I had to go to Grant ER.
Oh,
the Grant ER in downtown Columbus.
Oh, no.
Okay. So this is me at the Grant ER, just like bleeding, just like peeing blood and crying. Because I just like went right there. And then I'm there with like gunshot victims. So then I'm like, well, what am I doing here? Because I'm like, oh my God, am I even in the right place? But I'm like, no, I'm already at the intake, whatever. So then
we've gotten this far.
Exactly. So then all of these people are there who have gunshot victims in the ER, and there's just whole families camped out, and they're like asking to borrow my phone, and they're asking for money. And I'm like, I don't have any money because I pretty much like snuck out of my house because I'm in like all of this fucking pain. And my partner is not a partner anymore and is just being a huge asshole and wouldn't have been worth it. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't even manage this. 3 hours later, I leave. After a male doctor, refused to believe I have a UTI. He was convinced it was something else. He was convinced it was an STI. And I'm like, I am pissing blood. He said, well, we have to wait for the test to come back. I'm like, I don't know what you need. Oh my God, I almost legitimately died. Then I'm at the CVS and it's not open yet. So then I'm waiting at the CVS and then I pee in the Kroger parking lot, waiting for this Kroger CVS to open because I can't not. So somewhere in Columbus, Ohio is a video of me peeing in a Kroger parking lot because nothing else was open.
Girl,
and this is why you can't get controlling psychos, because then you can't bring them to the ER with you.
I am so sorry that you went through that. First of all, let's just take a moment for Grant Hospital. What is going on with Grant? I had a friend go there. I had a friend have to go there recently for a kidney infection. And because of neglect, I'm going to use that word, not getting the treatment that she needed, she went into sepsis. And thank God she didn't die. But it was, girl, it's horrible. So I'm so glad that you made it through that. I'm so sorry. You've had a few of those.
Girl, I always get the worst UTIs all the time. And I'm like, I'm not a dirty person, but something about my body is just like, I just get them more.
You know what? I think it's one of those things, like, I have really soft enamel, so I get more cavities. You know what I mean? I think maybe it's just one of those things that you're more or less susceptible to. But that sucks.
I just have a very sensitive urinary tract. No, it was terrible. It was like the worst. And then I had to like hide it because she was crazy. And
and that's the worst when you're like, you can't even be open and honest about the fact that you're not feeling well, because the person that would normally be there to support you is like the last person you want to tell.
And then it became a comedy of errors, because of course then I'm pissing orange. Because I don't know if you know this, but whenever you take the stuff for the UTI, you pee orange.
Oh, you don't normally do that? Girl, that's because I don't drink enough water.
So then that is no good, girl. You need to hydrate more. That's why I hydrate so much, so I don't get UTIs. So then I'm like, I have to like flush every time, like 3 times if she's in the house, because it's like the residual is orange.
That's the code.
Oh my God. And I was like, she probably thinks I have explosive diarrhea all the time. Anyways.
If I flush 3 times, it tells the neighbor
when
I'm
in Columbus
okay.
next, if anyone wants to hear the story of why she couldn't know I had a UTI, that is a story that is in a sealed record. But I bet if you buy me a drink, you can hear it.
Buried in the backyard. But earlier on in the dish, I would apologize about talking about queer stuff so much. But you know what? It's very fascinating. So, you know, if you can relate, if you're in the picture, you know. And if you're not in the picture, you're welcome. But like as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm leaning into my age, I'm discovering that things are not as flexible as they used to be. So like the last time I tried to get real crazy, you know what I mean? Like a little bit theatrical. Like if there's a full production, like I'm trying to like, you know about the glamour leg? Have we talked about the glamour leg? Okay, so you femmes at home, you know the drill.
Love a glamour leg.
You've got the what did you call the other one, girl? The one that's planted. It's like the stable.
That I think
it's the stable leg.
Stable leg.
You plant it down. It keeps you centered. It keeps you
grounded.
grounded.
I forgot about this joke.
And the other one is like doing acrobatics and somersaults and stuff. And you're like, you know, it's doing.
It like wraps around the person.
Yeah.
It's long and sexy.
Yeah, it's doing that salsa thing where you wrap around the body, that kind of thing.
It's an anchor leg. You need an anchor leg.
Yeah. Because it's there. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you from rolling away. It keeps things from like, you know, otherwise you'll dislocate something. And let me tell you, I had a glamour leg moment that blew out my adductor. And I already had a problem with my adductors, which, if you don't know, is the muscles that connect your inner thigh to your knee and your femur.
Oh.
So it's like if you're doing split stretches, that's what you're stretching, right? Pigeon pose. I haven't done pigeon pose in a year, girl.
Pigeon pose left in the dust.
No one's doing pigeon pose with this pigeon.
No, thank you.
And those take a long time to heal. So like I used to snap back. Remember when you could eat Taco Bell at 3 a.m. and just be fine the next day?
Girl.
Without a food hangover? It ain't like that anymore.
I can't even drive by a Taco Bell anymore. There's a place down here called Miami Grill. Oh my God, girl, it's so good. We have to go. It's also known as Miami Subs. Oh. And they do, so it's really hard for me because I don't eat meat to go get delicious fast food. They have a fish pita with fried fish. And it is so good, and it is so bad, and it is so good. And I'm like, Girl, it is so good. And I almost died
Fish
for 2
pita?
straight days. Yeah, it's so good.
Fish pita is a great drag name.
Fish pita is a great drag name. So we'll have to go there. But yeah, no, I can't eat it. It takes 3 days to recover. That's why I'm drinking kombucha.
Yeah.
Girl, I want to give you a challenge for next week as we wrap up.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to give you a challenge, and then you're going to share a queer self-care tip for us to leave. So,
oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So first, your challenge next week is one word.
Okay.
Monochrome.
Monochrome. Okay.
You're so good at putting so many different things together. I wonder what you could do with some like that.
Okay. You want me to take a color and run with it? You want me to get extra on a color? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I mean, this is sort of monochrome, so we'll have to choose a different color next time. But you know what? I think I might be able to accommodate such a request.
Girl, I think you will. It's just an inspiration. You know?
Yeah. It's some inspo for your vision board.
Which we love.
I think we're going to manifest it.
What is your queer self-tip care for our audience?
Oh, girl, I was just thinking this when I was getting ready tonight because when I was getting ready, I remembered that I would used to get, you know when you break out the new eyeliner or the new pair of lashes? And obviously that's a very femme thing, but I feel like you can expand this experience to other things too. Like there's things that you use for a while and then eventually you have to replace them. Yeah. And I used to crack open the new liquid eyeliner when I had a really important event to go to. Because I don't know how you replace makeup, but I tend to get the replacement and then I'll use up the one that I have.
Yeah, because you don't want to be caught with your pants down.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to get, I'm a wasp, so I want to get the value out of the one that I already got. I'm not just going to like waste the rest of the pencil. But it's always like a moment. It's a very special moment when you crack open the new eyeliner. It's brand new. It's like the line is perfect. You know what I mean? But then I realized, why? Oh, new mascara, and absolutely. Mm-hmm. Same deal. New, fresh, false eyelashes. You queens and burlesque performers out there. It's just like, oh my God, there's no cakey spider legs on it from all the dozens of times I probably should have thrown it away. I used to break that out for a really special event, and now I just break it out for no good reason. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do this tonight for me. Like, I've been watching a lot of The Crown lately, so there's a lot of like, fetch my smelling salts. There's a lot of that stuff going on. I love to just put on like a nice little robe and pour myself a nice little cup of tea and just a slightly winged eyeliner. Like, one that the peerage would approve of. The landed gentry would be like, oh, where is she from? I like to do that just for me now. So
I think that's the thing we learned in the pandemic. It's like you also can't wait for special occasions. You have to be the special occasion. And I think
that's exactly it.
Yeah, in the queer community, we know that. Like, we're used to that, and I think we need to just keep reminding ourselves of that. You are the special occasion, y'all. We love you.
People always ask, like, oh, like, I could never pull that off, or like, what, I would have no occasion to wear that to, and it's like, girl, you are the occasion.
I love that. Well, with that, we will leave you. We will be back next Tuesday and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mm-hmm. Please take care of yourselves and listen to our self-care tips.
Yes.
You are the what? What was it?
No, she is the moment.
She is the moment. You are the special occasion.
I'm just channeling Wendy Williams now. Girl,
you are the special occasion.
You're my special occasion. Every Tuesday I get to hang out with you. So, I mean, everything's coming up, Eileen. No. Well, we love you so much. We'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to reheat all the old episodes of The Dish. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you next Tuesday for Covered Dish, baby.
Bye.
Bye.